my name is Lacey of Spookos and Fat Hips, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm not wearing highlighter today. Is that shocking? I opted out of highlighter so that I could do very dramatic blush. Somebody recently left me a hate comment that was like, I don't know why you're buying so much makeup when all of your makeup looks like the same. And then, ironically, this person was also a small YouTuber. I should say people in glass houses should not throw stones, but I digress. But I was like, no shit, I'm a cartoon character. Like, I wear the same hat every day, I wear the same format of an outfit every day. Are we shocked that my makeup always looks the same? I don't claim to be a makeup artist. I'm just some bitch with an opinion about makeup. All of that aside, I'm so excited for this video today because this video is going to be my first collab video of my kind of week of collabs that I'm doing this week. I'm collabing with 90s LoveChild here on YouTube to talk about the weirdest makeup of our collection. 90s LoveChild was the absolute perfect person to talk about this subject with because she is my absolute, like, YouTube crush when it comes to weird, kooky, creepy, cute aesthetic. 90s LoveChild, aka Soraya, is somebody who I've been following their beauty career, so to speak, since like the time I started my channel. I found her first on Instagram and then kind of realized we had, I think, created channels around the same time. And I think we've just always been like in the other's corner, just rooting for each other. Like, I very much fangirl over her constantly. She fangirls over me. I adore her. She's such a good person, such a good friend. She has such a big heart. And she just has one of my favorite aesthetics that I've ever seen on another person. I think her style is fantastic, her makeup is fantastic, her wigs are fantastic, her beautiful background of stuff is fantastic, she's hilarious, she has such wonderful opinions on things, she's so candid and real. I could literally make a whole video about why I adore her. So thank you, Soraya, for doing this video with me. I absolutely love you. Thank you for being understanding of the circumstances I went through last weekend to get to filming today. That's neither here nor there. She's just a wonderful person. Like, go subscribe to her. Go check out her content. I adore her. Like I said though, 90s LoveChild is my like weirdo partner in crime because we both love crazy makeup, crazy aesthetics, kind of, you know, not trying too hard to pass as like normal functioning members of society. We're just kind of in our own lanes doing whatever. And we both have a lot of makeup and have a lot of weird makeup. So a lot of these weird things that I'm going to be talking about today, a lot of it you've heard me talk about before because I'm a one-trick pony, I'm a cartoon character, I know what I like. On the other hand though, I've kind of found some like weirdo makeup hidden gems, so to speak, of like brands you maybe wouldn't have thought of to make weird makeup, or like places you can turn to satisfy your weird makeup needs that you might not have thought about before. I don't know. I have a good variety, I'd say, of just interestingly, like when I say weird, it's not a bad thing. We're weird on this channel. I think we should all embrace weirdness. Like, that's fine. You do you. And if this isn't your cup of tea, you like to be, you know, less out there, less, you know, a spooky swamp witch like I am, that's fine. You do you. We're respectful of all aesthetics on this channel. This is just my favorite weird makeup and we're gonna talk about it. You know how opinions work. I keep having to walk you through how these things work. Most of you get it. Most of you understand. I got a basket of makeup. We're just gonna grab and go. It's in no particular order. I think you all know that I can't stop talking about the Colourpop BFF mascaras. I should say, I need to specify every time I talk about these that the formula mostly sucks in terms of what you want a mascara to traditionally do. If you want a mascara to lengthen and separate and just make beautiful lashes, this isn't the mascara for you because it's Clump City. But because it's Clump City, it makes it perfect for these kinds of weirdo colors that they release. I can't find any other brands that are doing this many colors. If anybody else has any suggestions for strange and unusual colored mascaras, let me know. But for right now, this is all I got. And because I'm only using them on the bottom lash line, it's not really so much a problem for me because I kind of want that clumpy spideriness to make a statement behind my glasses. If you want more information on that, I suggest watching the glasses tag that I did with Abby. I think the card goes in this corner. But like, I'm always wearing the blue one, Blew Your Mind. I also recently got the pink one, Pink Ink, the yellow one, Yellow Goodbye, the white one, Little White Lies. Like, I am a sucker for these, so I had to mention them. It's such a subtle way to add such an impactful statement to your eye makeup. Without fail, if I go out in public with a colorful lower lash line, somebody somewhere asked me how I did that. And Colourpop, you owe me some commission for that. I'm just kidding. Speaking of Colourpop, something like weird, so to speak, that was kind of a trend for a hot second. These gray tone palettes. I have Colourpop Smoke Show, which is their 9-pan black and gray cool tone, gray tone palette is what I meant to say. And then I also have the Lime Crime Venus Immortalis. I will say I never did a formal review of this palette. Not my favorite. I could definitely recommend choosing Colourpop over this one. The mattes just aren't very cooperative. Story-wise, color story-wise though, I love both of these palettes. I love to see grays like this have their own moment, so to speak, have their own dedicated palettes. High school, like 17-year-old Lacey would have gone gaga for these palettes because I was the raccoon-eyed queen. Most days I wore black eyeshadow, but if I thought I was being like, if I thought I was fucking the game up, so to speak, I would put on like a gray or red. So like, middle school weirdo Lacey would have loved these, and even though like, especially this lime crime one, I don't like the formula of, I'm still keeping it because the colors are beautiful and I can make them work. It's just not the easiest time. Smoke Show, on the other hand, is fantastic. Highly recommend. Going along with the mascaras, I always talk about the Linda Hallberg Mood Crayons. I got these, I want to say Memorial Day sale, some kind of summer sale, or else I might not have bought them because they're incredibly expensive. But it's just a little collection of like primary color pencils, and I believe they're marketed as you can use them anywhere. I use them as eyeliner, but you can use them on your lips, you can use them as eyeshadow, whatever you want to do. These are fantastic on the waterline. They do take like a couple passes to get full opacity of the color, but once you've gotten it, it's beautiful and it stays on. And these matched with the corresponding mascaras really make a statement, and I'm just so glad that I have these because it's been really hard for me to find a non-metallic colorful gel liner otherwise. I have other pencil liners that are colorful, but like I said, they have some kind of element of like sheen or sparkle to them. These are just a flat color and I really love them. It's a great formula. I want to invest in more colors of these, but this has been like a holy grail kind of collection for me this year. I'm wearing this today, the Likely Makeup Clown Blush Palette. I fell in love with the second I saw photos of this. Yes, I did see the Fairy Blush Palette, and yes, I did buy it already. This is so just, I have nothing like this, like truly. These colors and the idea of blush draping and being really creative and doing looks with wild colored blushes is so fantastic to me. And I'm so excited to see the brand go into this direction because it very much fits its Likely Makeup and her aesthetic. But in general, nobody else is doing anything like this. The idea of like blush palettes that are specifically marketed for an avant-garde kind of artistic audience that's not worried about being wearable or work appropriate or any of those things. It's very much for, you know, not the faint of heart. This is so fun. The yellow and the orange specifically, I've been the most obsessed with because I wouldn't have a blush color like these otherwise. And you could argue that you could just use an eyeshadow. Absolutely. But I like the formula of this because you can sheer it out or build it up. I will say it starts off pretty pigmented. So if you want it to be more sheer, hit it on your hand, tap off your brush, or like I put a little bit up really high towards the temples and then blend it out everywhere else. That's very effective. But I love seeing yellow blush specifically as a trend. I've seen more and more people kind of branch out into yellow blush on Instagram, and I think it looks so beautiful. And I'm so excited for the new palette because there's like a blue and this gorgeous peach in it. Really, really like this. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan to see this branch off into a collection, because I'm here for that. And I think also this works on a variety of skin tones because of how pigmented it is, which is also really exciting. Giving credit where credit is due, man. Manny MUA, Lunar Beauty, nailed it with their Moonspell collection and this Moonspell palette. I think them choosing to use Halloween as their holiday collection, spectacular. I hope more brands follow in those footsteps because it speaks to my weirdo soul. I absolutely love this palette. I'm of the minority of people who saw the outside and fell in love and then saw the inside and stayed in love. I think a lot of people were very turned off by this palette, but I loved it because it has this like wonderful murky quality to it that I think stays very on brand for the whole like witchcraft theme that they were going for, that Manny was going for. This palette made me take Lunar Beauty seriously. I think because of when Lunar Beauty kind of was introduced. I'm going to close this because it's fucking up my white balance. I think because of when Lunar Beauty was introduced, I kind of was falling off of the influencer bandwagon. Really wasn't a fan of Manny at the time. The Life's Dry collection was so not for me. I didn't think it was nearly as aesthetically beautiful as this collection, or even Strawberry Dreams, I think was the one before this. So I wasn't checking for them. This came out. I am now checking for Lunar Beauty because this is fantastic quality, and I loved the vision behind this collection. It's so inspired, and it's just like everything about it is so neat. Like the details of like the spine, it looking like a book, the hands on the back, all of this. This is truly like, if I had a makeup line, everything would look like this, because it's spooky, but it's still really like classy and cool. Can I say that? I do think his stuff is extremely expensive, and I recommend getting all of it on sale, but really here for this. I loved this palette. Spoiler alert, this is probably going to be one of my favorite releases of the entire year. I don't know if I ever talked about these on my channel. These are the Notoriously Morbid Multichrome highlighter palettes. This is Ghostly Tales, and this one is Ghastly Tales, and they're named after like famous haunts, famous ghosts. Like the colors in the Ghastly Tales are Amity, Bathsheba, and Borden. And if you're like a horror lover, creepy things lover, you know what those references are. These are so fun and interesting. Ghostly Tales, Whaley, Sarah, and Annabelle are the shades. Again, I'm hoping you can see the shift on camera. I don't want to swatch everything, but I guess in order to get the point across, I have to swatch these. This is my only Notoriously Morbid purchase so far, but I've been checking for them ever since after making these purchases, because this is such a cool concept, and again, the marketing, the aesthetics of this just speaks to my soul in a sense. And these are just such fun, unique colors, and they definitely are multichrome to me. They definitely flash a lot of colors. You can wear these as highlighters, you can wear them as eyeshadows. I've been kind of using them as highlighter transformers because they're really kind of tricky in a sense to use as highlighters, because you have to manipulate them in a way that like works with your blush and your other highlighters, because these are such strange colors, and a lot of them have a little bit of a gray tone to them. Really fun though. Really cool everything. They have like a homemade look to them because it's a indie brand, but I don't mind that, and I really just think these are cool, and the ghost tail kind of spin on it is awesome. Jumping around a little bit, this is weird. I know like this doesn't maybe fit the like spooky kooky, welcome to the spooky, ooky, kooky, creepy, but this doesn't actually like fit the aesthetic of like weirdo, gothy, kind of spooky kid, 90s mall goth thing that I'm talking about. This is a Glamlite taco palette, and I just feel like this is so fucking weird, and we're not really talking about how weird this is. I know Glamlite does all food related stuff. I have the burger palette, I have the pizza palette, I have the taco palette. For some reason, the taco palette tickles me the most because it's hyper realistic food, and I am of the mindset that if you're gonna do food and makeup, it should be cutesy food. I don't know why. Something about this one and the hyper realistic like meat with the onions and stuff, just strange. The colors, I really like this color story. I actually really like Glamlite shadows. I think they perform really nicely, but out of all of the food related Glamlite palettes, this one just gets me the most. I don't know why. I feel like I was going through my makeup collection looking for like weird makeup. This is so weird. Am I wrong? Do you disagree? I have so many weird highlighters, but I feel like Fenty takes the cake of like a mainstream brand that is doing the weird thing right, because they're not viewed as weird, they're viewed as like artistic and runway and avant-garde and like editorial. But I think other brands might have released similar products that might not be received the same way, but I love them. They're highlighters. Fenty Beauty Killawatt foils and Killawatt, the regular Killawatts, are awesome, but they're in crazy shades. This is the Diamond Ball Out shade that they did for charity. This is Trophy Wife. This is one of those things that broke the internet when it came out. This is Ruby Riches that is fairly new. I buy them to do the weird artistic avant-garde editorial makeup that they're designed to be made for. I do blush draping, I do the crazy colored highlighters, the eyeshadow that kind of leaches out onto your cheeks. I love that for this, but I think for the average consumer this is very off-putting. I'm really here for the weird cheek trend that's been happening lately, where it's like I said, where it's kind of like your eyeshadow almost just like extends onto the high points of your cheeks. I love that look. I need to like delve into the weird cheek product territory more often. I tend to keep my weirdness mostly on my eyes, less so on the lips like I used to. Cheeks are such an underrated canvas for weirdness. Kind of in the same boat of those Notoriously Morbid highlighters, I have 3 Multichrome highlighters from JLo Cosmetics. I have Cloud 9, which is like a blue purple shift. My absolute favorite highlighter besides probably Halo from Give Me Glow. This is Synopsis, which is a green sparkly highlighter. I'll swatch them all in a second. And then Chaos, which is a pink gold flip. I've talked about these a million times, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet. It's really the glitter that makes these so special, because the glitter is what catches the light and makes them super shiny. But the color choices are just fantastic, and I think, again, they're going to work for a wide variety of skin tones. And JLo in general has one of the best highlighter formulas that I've personally tried. If you like the See Me From Space, lighthouse of my dreams effect that I tend to like. Equally, I cannot give enough love to the Duolight highlight palette from BH Cosmetics. These split pans are fantastic. Kind of the same deal as this, but I think these blend out a lot creamier and a lot more smoothly and less chunky, even though they are really chunky and dense. These just have fantastic colors and fantastic multi-chrome kind of flip effects to them, and this is such an affordable product and such an easily accessible product. I think a lot of the other things I've talked about are very indie or a little bit more higher priced. This is something that like anybody can get a hold of because it's Solar Ulta, it's frequently on sale, and it's just really, really cool. And obviously you don't have to limit these highlighters, the Fenty ones, anything to just being a highlighter. You can use it for blush, you can use it for eyeshadow, you can use it to transform different aspects of your makeup, but really artsy and cool. I don't know, do other people hype this up the way that I do? Because I think this is one of the best highlighter formulas in my collection, just straight up. I talked about it in my Jaclyn Hill video. I love this palette. Everything about Lunatick Cosmetic Labs just tickles me in all of the right ways. Yes, I know what I said. Aesthetically, again, a brand that I just absolutely love. First of all, their little coffin palettes, they tend to all look like this with the Ouija board kind of front, and then you open it up and it's just totally everything I love. It's just like aesthetically me in a palette. They have all different little 5-pan palettes. They have neutral ones, really colorful ones. They're really cool, but I do recommend getting them on sale because they tend to be priced a little high for my taste. My favorite one is the Elvira one. I don't know if they still sell this, but I love when you open it up. It's like a flip book. I absolutely love this blush. This is so fun and awesome. And then their contour book, there's a volume 1 and 2. I have volume 1. I have said before on this channel, this doesn't get the love it quite deserves from me because I tend to only open this when I'm doing like drag inspired looks or I'm doing something kind of more artistic that I wouldn't wear on camera, so to speak, because it is very gray tone and it's more almost stage makeup inspired, that I would say. This middle row of blushes, though, are all gorgeous peachy tone blushes. You can do the draping thing where you layer, you know, different colors of blush to get a contouring effect. They have your warmer tone bronzers, the cooler tone gray kind of traditional contouring that you would do in almost like special effect makeup. And all of the pans you can replace as singles. It looks kind of like the Hocus Pocus spell book. I love this palette. I keep it mostly, I would say, sadly, as a collector's piece. It is more than beautiful as a functional piece of makeup. These are great consistencies of cheek products in terms of like the powder consistency. They're nice and smooth and easy to blend, and they sheer out upon first application, but you can build them really nicely. It's just a gorgeous little piece of fun makeup in my collection. This was weird, but I love it. This was the Wet n Wild highlighting bar that they did in their Mermaid collection. This is pretty old at this point. I mean, not that old, but it's not new by any means. Does this even have a shade name? I don't know. It's just kind of like this grayish gold that worked for nobody because it does have a really strong gray undertone once you swatch it, but I kind of think it's cool, so that's why I've kept it around for all these years. I don't know if you can even see what I'm talking about. It's a cool gold flip, but it's like a greeny gray underneath, which like I get works in a mermaid sense, but like I can see why the mass market appeal just wasn't there for that. Equally, the Wet n Wild Color Icon Shade Shifting Blush in Zombie Blush. This was like 2 Halloweens ago, but I think they had something similar this year. This is like a green to red flip. Kind of like there's always like a green brown or a blue brown shade everywhere now. This highlighter does the same effect where it's definitely green, but then you could blend it out to a red. It's really blends out to kind of like a deep red too. It's a little tricky to work with because it's like a super metallicized formula, but you can definitely blend it out to like an interesting effect. But again, even for like blush draping, this is a little much, and it's really, really hard to work out all of the green. I wouldn't say it's bad though. I actually quite like it. I realize it's a gimmick, but I'm here for it. And then just some quick lip products to wrap it up. I have so many spooky lips. That's where the spooky lips part of my channel name comes from, because I used to wear a weird colored liquid lipstick every single day. Lately I'm more about natural looking lips or glossy lips. It's just what I've been doing lately. I'm sure like I haven't given up on spooky lips forever. I tend to just go through phases with my makeup. But in terms of spooky lips, a lot of mine are indie. A lot of mine come from brands that are now canceled that I might not support on this channel anymore. A brand you might not expect to have spooky lips, so to speak, is Too Faced. Their Melted Matte, Liquified Matte Longwear lipsticks are some of the best deep liquid lipsticks that I've personally tried when it comes to like blacks and browns, let's say, or even deep reds. I feel like a lot of liquid lipstick formulas get shitty the second you deepen the color, but Too Faced is a formula where I feel like that doesn't happen, where their deep colors actually wear pretty nicely. Still a drying lip, still liquid lipstick. If you hate drying liquid lipsticks, you're not gonna like this formula. But they also have these fun colors. They have Who's Zoomin' Who, Unicorn, and Wicked, and they just sell these at Ulta. And like, I love that about these. I love that you can get a pretty accessible weirdo lip color, you know, at Ulta, at Sephora. Pretty mainstream. Another brand though, like truly this is where my mind first went to when I was thinking about my lip products and what's the weirdest. The Covergirl Melted Pout Vinyl Vow Lipsticks. These are crazy. This is not a formula for everybody. These are truly a vinyl lip in that they look really shiny. They don't dry down. It's like a gloss, but even kicked up a notch because it's super sticky, and it really feels like you melted a traditional lipstick. And again, they have kind of stranger colors. This is Fallen Deep, which is kind of like a super deep purpley brown that looks almost black. So Lucky, which is a really vibrant violet, and then Below Deck, which is a navy blue. I like these. I like them best with a lip liner to control like any bleeding or feathering. These are really fun if you're into a shiny lip. Again, not a formula for everybody. I will say with the weirder colors, I'm more hyper aware of what my lipstick is doing and like checking if it's on my teeth, if it's on my chin, if it's on my face, whatever. But these are really cool. And you can get them at the drugstore. Like, way to go, Covergirl. And with that, that was just a little collection of what I think is some of my weirdest makeup in my collection. Let me know what you think about all of these things and what your weirdest products are down below. Thank you so much, Shreya, 90s LoveChild, for collaborating with me on this video. I am so excited to see your weirdo makeup. Like I said, 90s LoveChild has one of my absolute favorite aesthetics that I've seen on another person. I'm so here for her, and I just love her channel and her as a person. Please go check out her video, check out her channel, send her so much love because she deserves it. I adore her. If you like this video, if you like spooky makeup, and if you like me, please hit like and subscribe. You can also follow me on my Instagram, which is also Spookless and Fat Hips, my Twitter at Spooky Lacey, the Half Cousins podcast. All of that information will be linked down below. Like I said, talk to me about makeup in the comments. But other than that, that is all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys!